It's Amanda here from Fun Hands-On Learning, and today I'm going to show you some spring-themed math and literacy activities for children ages maybe 4 to 6 or 7, so kindergarten and first grade. So the first one here is working with words that end in CK. So some people consider this CK a digraph when you're thinking about phonics skills, and some people just consider it a special sound. It's just basically the C and the K say one sound together. So they both say the K sound together. So this activity, like I said, these are all spring themed. This one has a mat that looks like this. It's just a spring picture. And what the kiddos are going to do is they're going to go through their pictures here. All of the words are on some chicks because the word chick ends with CK, and obviously I wanted to stay with the spring theme. And they're going to pick one of the cards and place it on their mat. And then they have to find the matching, so they have to read the word, then they have to find the matching card that matches their word. So this is the word kick, so they're going to find the egg that matches. And once they've done that, then they can go on. So here I have the word back, and then they're going to go through their cards, and they're going to find the picture that matches the word back. Here it is. So this one is a lot of fun. They're just matching cards. You can do it on the mat, or they could do it in a pocket chart would be another good way to do this one. Okay, this next activity is a math activity. It's working with 2D shapes. And what the kids are going to do is they're going to trace, as you can see I've already started tracing, they're going to trace the name of the shape and the actual shape on these cards, and then they're going to find the matching flower. So here you see a trapezoid, and we've already been tracing. They're using dry erase markers because I laminated these cards. And they're going to trace the word, so they're learning the name of the shape. They're going to trace the shape, and then they're going to look through their flower cards, find the one that matches, and place it on their card. So that one is done. So then here's the pentagon. We already traced pentagon, traced the shape, and then they're going to look through their cards here, find the pentagon, and place it on their mat. So they're recognizing the shape, they're recognizing the word with the shape. So there are just a whole bunch of different 2D shapes. I printed mine on front and back of these cards so that I could kind of just save some paper and some lamination. I was running out of laminating sheets. I actually just ordered some off of Amazon, and I'm impatiently waiting for some more because I ran out, and I buy the 200 count boxes, and I ran out. So you can tell how much I laminate around here. So anyways, yeah, this one's a lot of fun. Something else you can do with this activity, if you wanted to take it a step further, so after they trace their word, and then they're going to trace their shape. After they do that, and then they find their card, you can pair it up with some pattern blocks. I have these ones here. And then you can have them find the pattern block in here that matches, and also place that right there on their card. So it's just one step further if you happen to have pattern blocks at home. And I know some classroom teachers watch my videos as well. I used to be a classroom teacher, so yeah, if you can do all of these activities with a big classroom as well. It doesn't have to be a one-on-one with just 1 or 2 students. Okay, so this next activity is money puzzles. I have butterfly puzzles here. And what the kids are going to do is they're going to match up the puzzles. There's 3 different types. So this one here is matching up the coin to the amount. So obviously that's a quarter. I'm going to match it up to 25 cents. This one here is matching up the coin to the word. So that's a dime. And then the third type of puzzle is matching up the coin front side to the back side. And you can take these puzzles a step further as well, and after they put the puzzles together, you can have them find the real coin. Here I have some real coins, and you can have them place them on their puzzles. So here I found a quarter, and I can just go ahead and match it up, and I find a nickel and match it up. You can even have, on these ones that have the front and the back, I could find 2 of them and match up a front and match up a back. So it's just taking it one step further to continue the learning. So So yeah, these puzzles have each type for for 4 of the coins, for quarters, nickels, dimes, and pennies. So this next activity, this spring-themed activity, is a literacy activity. It is spin and building short vowel words. And before I go on and show you how to do this one, I wanted to mention that you can get all of these activities in the links below. I'm going to leave them below. There are 3 ways to get them. You can get them each individually. I've had many people ask me to put each activity on my website to purchase individually if they only wanted 1 or 2 of the activities. So I've been starting to do that. You can also get them in a bundle of all of my spring-themed centers, or you can get them in a huge bundle of all of my holiday seasonal activities. So I have like fall, Thanksgiving, Christmas. What else do I have? Valentine's Day. I have obviously these spring ones. I'm missing something in there. Did I say Thanksgiving? I have, winter themed activities. So anyways, there's a big bundle of all of the themed activities, or there's bundles of just specific holidays. So like just these spring ones will be together, or you can get them all individually. So, all right, let's get into this activity itself. Whenever you're doing spinner activities, you can use a pencil of any sort, and then I like to use a clip like this instead of just a regular paper clip. It seems to work better. Or I found on Amazon these snap together spinners, which you can purchase. I'm not like sponsored by Amazon or anything, but they look like this and they do work really well. You just, let's show you. So here's what they look like. There's 2 parts to them. Here's the front part, if I can get it out. There we go. And this is the back part. So you cut a hole like right here in the spinner, and you just put the back part in, and then you clip it together. And once it's in your paper, it will, spin. So you could even just set it on there and spin it like that, but it kind of moves. So I like to attach it to the paper. But either way, if you don't have one of those, you can go ahead and just use this just as well. And what the kids are going to do with this activity is they're going to, use any of the mats. This is the short O. This is the short I mat. This is the short A mat. This is the short E mat. This is the short U mat. So they all are like have the flowers on them, obviously, for springtime. And so what they're going to do, here's the short E one. So they're going to put the spinner on there, and they're going to spin, and I landed on bed. So then I'm going to use my flower cards here, and I'm going to build the word bed. So here's my E. I need a B sound for my, here's D. D sound for the end, and then I got to find the B for the beginning. So you may want to have the kids lay these cards out in alphabetical order before they start the activity so that they're easy to find. And that also gives this activity another another way to practice it, because they're practicing putting the letters in alphabetical order, and they can even practice the sound of each letter as they do it. So I would have them put them in order, maybe off to the side in ABC order, and then they'll be easy to pick up when they need them. So they place it on there, they make the word, and then they just spin again. And this time I got jet, so they would, take off the beginning and ending sound, and they would put a J and a T for jet. And they would keep on going, and obviously they can do any of, the maths as long, whatever time that you have available for them to practice. This next activity is another literacy activity. This is practicing reading easy, simple sentences, and they're all spring-themed sentences, and they're on these frogs. And so what the kids will do is they will take the side that has the sentence, and they will read, "Did you see a yellow bee?" And they're going to look at their puzzles and find the match it up to make a spring frog. So that one's done. This one is, the birds will take a bath. Just simple sentences that they can read. And then you can also assess their comprehension if they can find the matching picture, so you know that they understood what they read. So I have a lot of these ones. Like I was telling you before, I ran out of lamination, so I have to still laminate and cut these ones out. But yeah, this is what they look like. And I tried to do all of the sentences, like, you know, something that happens in the spring, like, did the frog hop in the pond? So all of the sentences, even though they're simple sentences, they have to do with springtime. Okay, this next activity is a math activity, and it is comparing numbers. So I have these spring birds here, and then I have their little eggs, and on the eggs are teen numbers, so numbers 11 through 19. And what the kids are going to do is they're going to take 2 cards. So they'll pick up 2 cards. Here I have 10 and 11. And then I'm going to put them in the proper container. I used little cups this time. This could also be done on a pocket chart if you wanted. Put these cards at the top of your pocket chart. I attached them with tape to these cups just to make it a little bit more fun. So I have 10 and 11. So 10 is less than and 11 is greater than. I'm going to pick 2 cards up again. I have 18 and 18. They are equal to. So I'll put both cards in the equal to one. 15 and 17. 17 is greater than, 15 is less than. So you get the idea. They're just going to go through their entire stack and sort them out. Okay, this next activity is a literacy activity. This one is working with consonant and vowel blends. So these are great for kids who are just learning to sound out words, practicing early reading skills. Okay. So what they're going to do is they're going to take a card. This one has a wagon on it, and they're going to find the consonant and vowel blend for wagon. And they're going to cover it up. You can use clothespin clips for this or manipulatives. I'm going to pull these out. These are pom-poms that I have glued magnets onto. If you make these yourself, which I did, I would suggest using a hot glue gun to glue the magnets on so that they stick really well. And then you can use this on a cookie sheet or some other magnetic surface and the magnets will stick through. So anyways, what they're going to do is they're going to take a manipulative and cover up their answer. Fish, cover it up. And they're obviously all spring themed here with the umbrellas and the flowers. So sock, saw. So I have just different ones, and they work with all the different vowels, A, E, I, O, and U, and kids are just going to cover up their answer. That one was top, with some kind of manipulative or with clips, clothespin clips. Okay, this next activity is a literacy activity, and this one is building word families. So I pulled out a short O word family and a short A word family, or a long A word family to show you. So some of them are short vowels and some of them are long vowels, but they're just simple word families. And what they're going to do is they're going to build a flower matching the word family. So here I have 2 pots. I have the Og word family and the Ale word family. And then I'm going to look through my pieces and I'm going to find the ones that match. So this is a picture of male. So this flower is going to go here. Okay, and then this is a log. So this flower is going to go here. Okay, can you see that? And then the other pieces kind of look like this. So I have a dog. So he's going to go on there, and then the middle of my flower is a frog. Okay, and then this one I have sail, and then the middle is a snail. Okay, so now that I've matched them up, the last step is to write the words. So I have these strip cards, I don't know if you call them strips of paper or cards, and they have spaces for them to write the words. So they're going to find the correct ones. As you can see, here's like the Unk family. You can see some of the other word families that are part of this. The Op family, the Ip family, Ain family. So this one's a long vowel. This one's a long vowel. Eel. This one's a short vowel. The Ak family. Okay, none on the back of that one. So anyways, you can kind of see the differences. So what they have to do is they have to find the ones that match. This one I've already done. So this one goes with the Ale family. So they will take a dry erase marker if you laminated them like I have, and they will write it. So they wrote snail, and we wrote sail, and we wrote male to match our Ale family. And then we'd have to do the same thing with the Og family. So I'm going to find that card. And now I'm going to write, I have frog. And then underneath there I have dog. And then I also have log. Okay, then they would be done with those ones and they could go on and build some more. And then I laminated mine on front and back so that I could kind of save some paper. This next activity is working with teen numbers and then counting on. So counting from a given number in the teen family. So anything from 11 to 19, those numbers. So what the kids are going to do is they're going to take a card. I'll show you some examples of some of the cards. So this one has a flower on it, and this one has a pinwheel. It's all spring themed. This one is a frog and a duck and a butterfly and a bird. So you can see a raincoat. And then just some kids with flowers and things. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to pick a card. Where's the one? Well, that one I already did. So I guess we'll pick the duck just as an example. Okay, and then they're going to use any kind of manipulative you have around to do this activity. Now, since the circles are kind of small, these manipulatives I showed you before, the little pom-poms, work really well. Another idea is little circular erasers, like these little smile faces that I have. And then for spring, I wanted to just show you some other manipulatives. These ones might not work specifically for this activity because they're a little bit bigger, but they're fun for spring. So I have some of these little hoppy frogs that you can get at the dollar store. They're real cheap. These are great manipulatives to use for just different activities in springtime. And then one other thing that I have for using in springtime is these. These are those foam stickers that you can get like in craft stores and things like that. I love to use foam stickers for manipulatives, but we don't use them necessarily as a sticker. We just kind of use them to cover up our answers or for counting and for addition and subtraction, things like that with math. So I just want to show you those two ideas for springtime manipulatives. Okay, so with this activity, I'm going to use let's see, I'll just use these little smiley face erasers. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to fill up the circles with manipulative and count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm sure you're excited right now. 11, hearing me count. 12. Okay, so this card had 12. So what they're going to do is it says right here to write how many. So I'm going to write 12. Then it says next number, next number. So now the child has to think and count on. So the next number would be 13. And the next number would be 14. So they're just going to do the same exact thing for all of these different cards. And like I said, they're going to be numbers 11 through 19. This next activity is a literacy activity. And what I have is I have a bird and a frog, and I've attached them to these containers here, as you can see. And I've cut out open the mouths, because what the kids are going to do is they're going to feed the bird or the frog. And this is the word bird, and this is the picture frog. Okay, so I'm going to set them there if you can kind of see them. And then they're going to have these cards. They're going to be practicing reading spring theme words. So here are some of the words: rain, kite, bee, seeds, pot. And now the reason there is a worm on each of these cards is because we're going to be feeding these cards to the bird. And then on each of the picture cards is a fly, because the kids are going to feed the flies to the frog, because frogs eat flies and birds eat worms. Okay, so then what they have to do is first they take a picture or a word card. So this word card, and they have to read it. So this says rain. If they read it correctly, they will they will feed it to the bird. So I'm going to feed rain to the bird, and then I have to find the matching picture card to feed to the frog. So here's the picture of rain, so I'm going to feed that one to the frog. And they're just going to keep going. So my next word, I'm going to read it properly. This is kite. Feed it to my word bird, and then I'm going to find the kite picture card. So you may not want to give the students the entire stack of picture cards. It may take them a while to dig through them to find the correct one. So maybe just give them a couple of choices, but then they'll feed the frog. So they'll just keep going. And like I said, it's just getting them used to, I picked words that would be easy to sound out or to read. So simple, short vowel or long vowel words. But all of the words also have to do with springtime. So some of them are a little bit more tricky, like umbrella. It has 3 syllables, but kids are used to seeing this word because a lot of times when they are learning their alphabet, the U is for umbrella, so they're kind of used to seeing that word. So I thought that would be an okay one. And the same thing with butterfly, even though it's longer, I thought most children should be familiar with that word. So I threw a few longer ones in there, but for the most part I picked spring type words that would be easy to read: seeds, pot, hat, plant, sun, nest, rabbit. So you get the idea. And then I have the matching picture cards here for them to feed to the frog once they've read properly. All right, we are coming to the end here. And this next activity, I have one more activity to show you after this one. This next one is working with addition and subtraction. So the kids are going to have some addition and subtraction cards that look like this. Okay, and they're spring themed here. There's a subtraction one, there's an addition one. They're going to take a card. You can separate them if your child or students are just working on addition or if they're just working on subtraction. Or you can mix them up like I did. And then there's going to be number cards here too that match. They're going to take a card. They're going to add. I have 5 plus 2, 5, 6, 7. So my answer is 7, and they're going to find their answer card and place it on their strip and go on. Here I have 8 minus 7 is 1. And they'll put it on their card. So as you can see, they're just going to go ahead and put their number card on there and keep going and continually practicing addition and subtraction with these cute little spring themed cards here. And like I said, I did mine on front and back this time just to kind of save the lamination paper, but I think that that's fine. I don't mind that. I did actually all of the addition ones like together, and then subtraction are on front and back in case I did want to ever separate them and put my addition cards, you know, somewhere if we were just working on subtraction, or my subtraction cards somewhere. So you can also extend this activity if the children are having trouble counting, and have them use manipulatives to kind of get their hands in there and work with that. So you can match it up. So if I have 5 umbrellas here, you can have the children put, you know, 5 snap cubes together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 of a different color. And then count their snap cubes up, obviously, and then find their answer. You can also have them match up all of the numbers on the number sentence so that they have to see the entire number sentence with numerals instead of just pictures. So for example, this would be 5, so I would put a 5 over it. And this is 2, so I would put my 2 card over it. And then I put my 7 card here. So now I see the numerals. I see 5 plus 2 equals 7. And then if I take these off, I also see the actual amounts. 5 umbrellas plus 2 is 7. So, okay, thanks for staying with me, guys. You have made it to the very last activity. So this activity is working with numbers, finding missing numbers. So it's numbers in a sequence, and they have to find the missing number. So sometimes the missing number might be at the end of the sequence, like on this card. Sometimes it might be in the beginning of the sequence, like on this card. Can you see that? Sorry, the little glare there. Or it might be in the middle of the sequence, like on this card. So they have to find the missing one. So what they'll do is they'll take a card. This one is 13, 14, and they have to find that missing number. And I have some matching cards over here. I have cards all the way up through 20. So the missing numbers could be anywhere from 1 through 20. So for this card, the missing number is 15. So they just have to match up the card with the rain, you know, it's rain themed for spring. They have to match up the 15 with the card, and then they're done with that one. This is another great one to do in a pocket chart because you could have you know, put a couple of these cards in the pocket chart and then have them use their number cards to match them up into a pocket chart just like that, so right next to them, and you can see their answers. Or they can just place it on top and go on to the next one. So this one is missing the first number, so they have 17, 18. They have to decide what comes before 17. and they can look through their cards, and they would need to find 16. So there it is. Okay, something to help out kids who are struggling with this would be to put a number line in front of them so that they can see specifically on the number line where the numbers lie, and they can practice counting forwards and backwards. I have a free download on my website of some number lines, and if I remember, I'll leave a link below to that where you can download those number lines. I have a number lines 1 through 10 that you can print out, and I have number lines through 20 you can print out if you're interested in getting a number line for your student. But yeah, so there's just a whole bunch of them. Some of them are just simple numbers, 1 through 10, like this was 7, 8, 9. So you can separate if you're working with a really young student, you can separate out the easier cards from the harder cards, which the teen number ones, the ones that go up to 20 would be a little bit harder, but like 2, 3, 4, that one would be an easier one. So you can kind of separate the different cards out if you need to, depending on the level of your student. Okay, those are all 12 math and literacy activities I have for springtime. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up below. I love those thumbs ups. I also love it when you leave me comments about how much you enjoyed these activities. And again, I will leave links below where you can get these. And we'll see you next time. Bye.